work with, so if you want to work with zones in your time instances, there is a class called ZonedDateTime, and you can use it together with Zone ID. So we're gonna see how we can use those two things together. But for now, what I want us to look at is we can actually get all the available zone IDs in our system. So if I print this method, it will return that data to us zone IDs. So this will be read from the system using the underlying implementation. So if I run this code now, as you can see, we get quite a number of time zones here. We have Asian Latin American Cuban, we have African Nairobi, Pacific. You know, we have all kinds of, all different time zones of the world. So this is how you can actually get all of them and print them. Then I'm gonna go to the next function here that I have already written. So what we are doing here, we get time, we get date, we get time, and we get zone. So this will give us a default zone of our computer system. Then we are creating a ZonedDateTime instance, and we pass it the time, and we pass it the date, the time, and the zone. And then see what we are doing here. We say ZonedDateTime plus 3 hours, and then we print that. So let me just comment this for now. We don't need to call this, so I'm just gonna run this code so you can see the output. So as you can see, we have Africa, Johannesburg, because it is where my system is based from, and we are able to get that. And here we see we have what do we have here? We have 1749, which is my current time here. Then here we have added 3 hours to it. That's why we have 8 here, which is 20, which is 10 to 9. That is what we are having here because we added 3 hours. So if you want to deal with zone, you can actually use the zone time. So let's see if we say now. So if you call ZonedDateTime with now, it will use the default time zone. Also, you can give it a zone. Let's say you say ZoneId dot, you see you are giving it a zone, or you can pass the zone as we saw how we pass the zone with this one. You say zone.off. So what I want to do, I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to come here and pass the zone here. So it will give us the time now in this place, and then it will add 3 hours to it. So let's run, and we see that it's actually 3, which is 1, because we added 3 hours. So you just subtract 3 from 15, you will get 13, which is 1 at this place. So let's see what's the time now, and not add anything from it to it, sorry. So we see that it's actually 12 at this place. They're just starting their own afternoon, and we are actually going into the evening. So this is what this time zone can do for you, and you can use it like the same way you will use the local date time, the local date. You see it has the now method, and let's say dot off. You see it also has the dot off method. You can even create it from an instance, instant sorry guys. So basically you can say instant dot now, then you can give it a zone. Let me just pass the zone that we just gave it, and then we run the code, and this is what we are getting. So, and then let me call the other function too, because we saw how we can use that. Okay, let me see. Okay, P1, I think. P1. Okay. So we're gonna use this one. So we have zone ID, system default zone, and we have local date time, and we have the zone date time, which is taken from my default zone of this particular time, and then we want to get the offset. So the offset, you will see normally you display it as plus, and then it shows you the number of hours. Let's run this code so you can see what that means. So you see it's +2. So this +2, as we saw on our slide, it actually means, let's just come here. It means the time that is your system time or your zone time in comparison with the UTC time. So let's see what the Java doc says. It says a time zone offset from UTC time. That is what this thing means. So let's copy our own time, the other time zone, and see what is their own offset from used in comparison with the used UTC. So it's -3. So it will differ based on the zone that you are living in. So that is the offset. So the offset will always be a number of hours away from the UTC. It even says the Greenwich UTC. So that is all about zone. So you can just explore and maneuver around to learn more on zones.